Okay, so I'm Liam, I'm from Splinter Gamer, and I've got a few questions to ask.
Yeah, feel free to.
First of all, Rift, it's 6 months old. How well is it done in the first 6 months?
We are very happy with it. We have a strong player base right now. We have a lot of action going on most of the servers. Of course, there are always some that are lower populated, but those are in the minority. And, well, it's a strong player base, and we love the game. They love the game. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I think it's important for a game to get a good start, because when new players come in, they want a lot of people playing with them.
Yeah.
In certain games, you start and you're on your own, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
How big is the playing with friends aspect in Rift?
Quite big. We're actually having the Ascended Friend program, if you've heard of that, which is used quite a lot. And unlike on other games, I think you've played the game in the beginning. So if you go into a Rift for the first time and there are other people around, you get the option to join an open group. That's the first point where you are really first grouping up with people without really having to do anything for it. And that's the first group experience right at the beginning of the game, so people will look for it right by themselves.
Yeah. And you seem to capitalize on Blizzard's mistake in their game, and I think that's a key thing, because people want to play with friends in that game, but they can't, they have to pay to swap to different rounds, and it seems that it's free on that. How important do you think it is to give these features for free in your game?
We are doing what we think is right for the game. We don't really orientate ourselves on our competitors or something like that. So if we think our player base will appreciate something, we will do it. It's as easy as that. So really, whatever you want, post it in the forums. So we'll do it, or try to do it if it's possible at least.
So it's safe to say that you're in close contact with your player base?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a community manager, so I am the one really in contact with people. And on a daily basis, we give feedback from what our players say on the forums, what they want. We convey news to them. We make events for them. I mean, have you been seeing the news about the community gathering we did yesterday evening? So that was a huge success. We had a full house. Everyone was having fun, and we could actually talk about the game, which is something not every game does for their players, They were happy, we were there for them, we had some fun, and that's the whole secret to it.
For new players, it's key that the first, I would say, an hour of gameplay needs to be as good as it can to introduce them to the game. Do you feel that Rift's, shall we say, starting area is good, and the player will experience new experiences that they haven't experienced in the game before?
Definitely. In our tutorial, the player gets to experience the soul system, which is rapidly different from any other MMO out there right now, because you can mix and change up to 9 souls per character, per class actually. So you can do a damage dealer that can also heal. You can do a tank that can also do spell damage, and so on and so forth. It's completely up to you. And you learn that during the first hour in our tutorial. So, yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Also, in part of the playing with other people aspect, you have these open raids, open world raids with the rifts.
Exactly. We do have raid rifts, which everyone can basically join in. But they should be cautious, because usually sworn groups are doing those. They know what they're doing. Yeah. If you're going in there as a bystander, there is a high chance you will be grilled in a second, basically.
So, during the process of a new character leveling, will they be introduced into raiding? How you would go about, say, if you're healing, how you would heal? Will you learn your role other than just going in and guessing?
That's actually what you have the first 50 levels for, and the 2 tiers of dungeons. You basically learn your roles through those first dungeons, and in tier 1 dungeons, in expert mode dungeons, you refine that knowledge. And then you go raiding and learn the really fine details about this. So we are adding another tier, which is master mode dungeons, which will drop items on tier 3 level, which is raid equivalent.
Okay.
So that will really refine what people do with their characters. And in the end game, most people will want to have 5 roles to fulfill during raiding. So, they really have to know their stuff in that's what's for.
Yeah, you're on about with the soul system. I think that is the most epic character progression thing I've ever seen in an MMO. Take for instance, I play say the mage, and you can have the pyromancer, the necromancer. It's just endless. How does that give the character so much choice?
It's hard to balance, actually. You always get that with each hotfix. We try to balance the characters out, and we try to do that by nudging them, not by completely turning them over. And we try to discern between PvE and PvP. We had a mage with his ground effect allowing him to evade a lot of physical damage. PvPers hated that. PvEers they liked it, of course. We changed it so that it only affects PvP differently. And we try to continue that through the game consistently. So we won't mix up anything between PvE and PvP, and we won't make anyone sad about balancing. And with all those souls, I think we're doing a pretty good job.
Well, from what I've seen and heard of the game, it's really coming along nicely. What about the new patch? What content will that bring for players and some new players probably?
So our new patch, we try to bring new patches every 6 weeks, big patches actually. We'll bring Master Mode dungeons. We will have Chronicles, which tell the storyline for single player or dual player parties. They can fight, for instance, through Hammerknell or through part of Hammerknell with specially tailored characters and bosses, so they can experience the prequel storyline to the raid. They can do that for all 3 raid instances, actually. We will introduce veteran rewards. Those are for long-time players of the game. So, for instance, if you have subscribed to the game for 18 months, you will get a portable mailbox which you can take with you and put up wherever you want. You get your personal vendor, you get a lot of vanity items, and so on and so forth. You get, what else do you get? It's a big patch, actually. Okay. Add-ons. Actually, add-ons, finally. That was something players wanted from the get-go. But we decided to develop them with player feedback. So for the last 2 months, if you looked at our add-on forums, players could actually give feedback on the actual API. So that's something, at least to my knowledge, that isn't very common as well. So we've decided to develop them with players in check, and they will be in beta with our next biggest patch.
Okay. Well done in your first 6 months. The game looks successful, and I can't wait to get into the full game. Thanks for the interview.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.